Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've filmed a video. I've been really busy with work and yeah, it's been really busy. So I have so many videos that I want to film, but no time. I haven't filmed a reading vlog in so long and I really want to do that. I think my next reading vlog is going to be like a mood reading or like what I read in a week as someone who works a 9 to 5. I think I want to do that again and like calculate how many pages I read a day, because like for the past 2 days I haven't been able to read at all. But today I kind of wanted to do like a reset, like a March reset. Today's the first day of March. It's Saturday and I need to do my February wrap up, which I think I'm just going to include in this video instead of making it a separate video. So I'll get into the books that I read in February this month as well. I also need to update my reading journal. I do already have like my February page filled out with all the books that I read, but I still haven't made my March spread yet. So we could do that together and then just like update some of like the challenges and stuff in here, like the beginning spreads, and then we'll see what else we get up to today. I don't know. I don't really have any other plans besides those two things, so we might read a little bit together. First, though, I can't believe I forgot. I got the Arc of My Friends by Frederick Buckman. I'm super excited to continue that one, but I'm not really focusing on it right now. And then, funny story came out in paperback, so I really want to do a reread of this because I haven't reread it yet, and I want to reread it before a new one comes out in April. And typically, like when Happy Place came out in paperback, I reread it and like annotated it. So I want to reread this one and annotate it as well. So when I'm ready to reread it, I can just grab it. I need to like make more room on my Emily Henry shelf. I might need to switch it over to like one of the longer ones because they won't fit in that one anymore. So maybe we'll do that in this video too. Who knows? First, before we do anything, I want to make a coffee because I got an espresso machine and I've never been more excited to make my coffee in the morning or just any time. I just want to drink coffee all the time now. So let's go make a coffee. Then we'll chat about our February books and then we'll do our reading journal. So let's go make coffee. It's so good. So good. Okay, so now we've got our coffee and we can chat about all the books I read in February. So the first 3 books that I read in February were actually on my Kindle. The first one I read was The Wingman by Stephanie Archer. This is the 3rd book in the Vancouver Storm series, I believe. And they're basically all hockey romances, which after reading the favorites, if you haven't watched my last wrap-up video for January, I read the favorites and I'm obsessed. Anyway, they're ice skaters, so I've really been obsessed with ice skating and hockey romances, and I was like, I need more. So I read that one and I did like it. It's not my favorite in the series, but it follows kind of like the golden retriever guy on the hockey team, Hayden, and his best friend Darcy has just broken off her like long-term relationship with her boyfriend. All 3 of them are friends in school, and Hayden's always loved her, so he's trying to be there for her as her friend. And obviously things advance in their relationship, and I just love like the friendships in this series and the characters. I don't know, it's just such a good series. And the 4th book comes out later this year. I can't remember when, maybe May, but I really enjoyed this one, and I don't remember what I gave it. Maybe a 4. Hang on, I need to have my Goodreads pulled up. Okay, I gave it a 4-star. Then the next one, also on my Kindle, is From Lukov with Love, and I have seen this book before. I know it's popular, or it was popular. I can't remember when, but I've never really like looked into like what it was about or anything. Like I guess I just didn't care enough. And when I realized that it was about like competitive figure skaters, like pairs, I was like, why haven't I read this? So I had to read it. It's a slow burn. It's by Mariana Zapata, and apparently she's the queen of slow burn. So I didn't really mind it, but sometimes slow burns, like at the end when they finally get together, the romance just seems like it came out of the blue, and that's how I feel about this one. Like Ivan and Jasmine, is that her name? I don't even remember her name. Anyway, she's kind of like, she's lost her last skating partner, and Ivan and her have always been enemies, and he comes to her and is like, I need you to be my partner, and then we'll help you after the year's over. We'll help you find another one. And Ivan's like amazing. He's won all kinds of medals. So they agree and they work together, and they're always, you know, butting heads and just arguing with each other. But apparently he had some other ulterior motive where he was actually in love with her. And I'm like, this just seems random to me. I don't know. I liked the skating aspect of it. I think that's really the only reason why I probably still gave it. I think I gave it a 2.75. It could be a 3. It was just, I didn't care for Jasmine as the main character, like herself. Like, I don't know. Just something about her annoyed me. But I liked the vibes of the skating world. I just wanted to be in that world again. And I did like Ivan, like, when you realize all the things that he's done for her, thinking that, you know, he hates her when really he doesn't. But it was just the romance didn't come until, like, the absolute very end. And also, it was so long, and for what reason? I don't know. I don't know why this book, it takes forever to get through. I felt like it was never going to end. So that's how I feel about that one. And then I listened to this one. This is The Answer Is No by Frederick Bachman. So this one I actually listened to an audio. It was like less than 2 hours maybe. It's also on Kindle Unlimited, but I don't even know what this one's about. I didn't give it a rating because I don't remember anything, but I'll read you the synopsis on Goodreads. It says, the absurdities of modern life cause one man's solitary world to spin suddenly and comically out of control. Lucas knows the perfect night entails just 3 things: video games, wine, and pad thai. Peanuts are a must. Other people, not so much. Why complicate things when he's happy alone? Then one day the apartment board, a vexing trio of authority, rings his doorbell, and Lucas's solitude takes a startling hike. They demand to see his frying pan. Someone left one next to the recycling room overnight and instead of removing the errant object, as Lucas suggests, they insist on finding the guilty party, but their plan backfires colossally. Told in Frederick Bachman's singular witty style with sharply drawn characters and relatable antics, The Answer Is No is a laugh-out-loud portrait of a man struggling to keep to himself in a world that won't leave him alone. Okay, yeah, that's basically all that happens. That's all you need to know. You don't even need to read the book because it's like less than 100 pages. So, there you go. I'm not going to rate it because there's rarely anything there. I was just craving Frederick Bachman's writing, which he always slays. So, there's that one. Next, okay, I need to get these out so I can talk about them in order. Just a second. Okay, next is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I was looking forward to another Ali Hazelwood romance, as we all do, you know. This one I knew was going to be more spicy because it is very much focused around like a certain kink. So I already knew that it was going to be more similar to like Not in Love by her, which was her first like erotic romance. So that's what I was expecting when I went into it. And, you know, spice level is definitely there. It's definitely higher than her other ones. I don't mind it. I liked the romance, honestly. I really love Lucas. It's funny. I was listening to listening to other people's reviews on YouTube, like Sarah Caroli's, and she mentioned that Scarlett's best friend Penn was mentioned way too much to be a side character. Like, might as well just make her the main character at this point, which I do see that. I feel like sometimes the story, like, strayed from, like, the main focus, and there were a lot of side plots, and didn't focus enough on Scarlett and Lucas in their romance, but I still loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I just love her writing, and it's so unique and funny, and also, like, deep. I just love it. I didn't mind the spiciness of it. I don't really care. I feel like I'm immune to it by now. Like, it doesn't faze me. But having said that, I don't think the spice was as heavy as I thought it was going to be. Like, for how much it's, like, I don't want to say hyped up, but, like, the beginning of the book, there's an author's note. I thought I was going to be shook reading this, honestly. But it didn't feel any different than, like, her other, like, Not in Love. Like, I feel like the spice was just like, oh, I've read this before. I don't know, but I still enjoyed it. Okay? I still liked it. So then I read Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I read this on my Kindle, and then I bought the physical book because I loved it. This is a really unique fantasy and super easy to get into, but it's basically about this girl named DM who is a healer in this world, the realm of Lumnos. I don't know how to say it. Where there's, like, humans, mortals, and then the Descended, and they have powers, and you're not supposed to, like, mingle. The Descended think very low of the mortals, like, that they're weak and all that stuff. And the Descended have special powers, and DM's mom goes missing, and she's trying to find out where she goes, and she kind of has to get kind of involved with the royals in the castle, and she kind of becomes involved in a way, I mean, like, she keeps running into him and has to work with him, the prince of this realm, and he's a Descended. Obviously, Descended are the royals in this, and there's a little bit of an enemies to lovers going on, but there's also a love triangle because she has a childhood best friend that she's been dating. So there's a rebellion going on. It's just got all the perfect fantasy plot lines that you want. Grumpy male main character, strong female lead, a love triangle, a war. What more could you want? Honestly. I think I gave this one a 4.25. I need coffee. Okay. Next, I read Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. This is her newest release. This is, I guess, a standalone series in the Out series. I don't know what she calls it, but it comes after Out on a Limb. Okay. It's about Wynn's best friend, Sarah, and her husband, Caleb. They've kind of had, their high school sweethearts got married young, and they're kind of hitting a rough patch in their marriage, like 20 years later. Past 17 years later. And she is like, I need to do something on my own. She's kind of like a housewife where she, like, stays home and, like, it's just a pretty face. That's how she feels. And she wants to do something on her own, but Caleb is always fixing things for her because he wants to take care of her. Like, I felt like sometimes I was annoyed at Sarah for hating Caleb the way she did when it's, like, not his fault, but obviously they both had things that they could improve. So they go on this couples retreat in the woods, and they, like, learn how to communicate their feelings better and just tell them, like, what the other one does that makes them feel certain things. And I really liked that aspect. I liked that they were already married and having trouble, and then kind of had to, like, rekindle the relationship. It's almost like a second chance, but they never split up. I just really enjoyed that, and I don't know, I love Hannah Bonham Young's writing, and you also get some glimpses of Wynn and Beau in here. So, really cute, really good romance, and I gave this one a 4.5. Another new release, I read her, First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. First of all, this cover is stunning. It was perfect for Valentine's Day. I read this the week of Valentine's, but this one is about this mom, single mom. She has like a preteen daughter. Her love life's kind of non-existent, and her daughter calls into this talk show, a romance hotline called Heartstrings in Baltimore, to get advice from Aiden Valentine, because he's the host. Because she wants advice for her mom. She wants her mom to start dating again. And Lucy, the mom, discovers that her daughter did this and takes the phone from her daughter and starts talking to Aiden. And people, like, Lucy goes viral for all the things that she said about love and romance, and people want to hear more for her. So she gets invited to go on to this talk show. So she spends a lot of time with Aiden. And I don't know, I really like that. I feel like I've seen mixed reviews about it, I guess. Like, I like the concept of it. I feel like it's very different to a lot of romances that I've read. I gave this one a 4-star. I liked both characters. She works at a car, like an auto repair shop, which I thought was very interesting. I've never seen a female main character with that sort of job, but they're real, like, real women do this. So I just feel like, well, overall, I think it was just like a cute little romance, good vibes for Valentine's Day. And then I also read Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Peppernell on my Kindle, just to read a poetry book, because it was like one of my prompts for my book club. We do like a bingo card each month, and I just needed a poetry book, so I read that on my Kindle. And I don't know, it's not my favorite. I like the Milk and Honey author. I like her poetry books. I enjoyed those more than this one. I can't even tell you really what they're about. Anyway. Then I read X's and O's, which is part of the Influencers series by Amy Lee, or Leah. I read Set on You last Valentine's Day, and I meant to read this one like right after, but I just didn't get to it. But this one I actually didn't think had anything to do with Valentine's Day. I just thought the cover was very Valentine's-y. And it actually does take place in like February, and there's a Valentine's gala. Anyway, good vibes if you want that, so save this for Valentine's next year if you haven't read it. But this one is about a romance book talker, basically. Tara, who keeps getting broken up. Like, every relationship she's been in, she's had her heart broken 10 different times, but 10 different men. And she decides, well, instead of trying to find someone new, I'm going to make this a series for my book talk or whatever, and reach out to them and see what I can improve, and like maybe, I could get a second chance with one of them. And while she's doing that, she's living with her sister's fiance's best friend / coworker, because she needed a place to stay, who is a firefighter named Trevor, and she enlists him to help her go through this journey of dating her exes and trying to find love again. And then, she ends up finding love with him. Very cute. I liked that she was a book influencer. I thought that was very fitting, Not that I would call myself an influencer, but it's just interesting to read about it. I gave this one a 4-star. Next, this is actually my first DNF of the year, and it's Last Chance Books. I can't even tell you I can tell you I only read like 5 pages, and then I was like, I know I'm not gonna like this. So this one is about Madeline, who works at this bookstore, like independent bookstore called Books and More. She's trying to take it over from her family, or from her aunt. And then across the street, there's like a big chain opening up called Prologue. Basically, it would be like a Barnes & Noble, I guess. Although they mentioned Barnes & Noble in here. But another bookstore chain is opening up across the street from her, and she's pissed off about it. And she obviously has never even been in there. But the first page, she's like, there's a bird has flew in, and she's trying to get it out. And then a customer comes in, and it's like this guy that she's had a crush on for a couple of weeks. And she helps him find a book, and then he ends up asking for her number. Okay, cute. And then she finally goes into the prologue. After she talked trash about it to this guy, she went to the prologue and found out that he's like the store manager or something. And I was just like, I can't read this. I don't know what it was. It was her like being so Like, it's been there for months, and she had never even gone in there, and this guy that she's flirting with / complaining to, who's also a customer, about another bookstore, she hasn't even been in there. She can't even say anything about it. I don't know. It just annoyed me, and I was like, I'm not going to force myself to read this, so I DNF'd it, and I don't think I'll ever want to try and read it again. Then I read the second book in this is called the Kindred's Curse Saga. So this is the second book after Spark of the Everflame, called Glow of the Everflame, and this one is a thick book. I also read this on my Kindle, but I like having the covers, and they're really cute, and I love the quotes on the back. I don't remember what the other one said, but this one says, "I am your sword, point me at your enemies and watch them fall." Let me tell you, the romance in here, the crumbs you get, is so good. It makes it so worth it. The enemies to lovers, I eat it up. I love it so much. And I can't really tell you what this one's about. It just follows, obviously, the events that take place in the first one. But I love it. I gave this one a 4.5. And then or maybe I just gave it a 4. 4.25. I can't remember. Yeah, and I can't wait to read the third one. The third one's even longer. This one was like 600 pages. The third one, called Heat of Everflame, I think, is like 1,000 pages. So it's downloaded on my Kindle, and she's ready to be read. But I'm like, let's take a breather. I was like, let's get through the rest of my romance books for February, and then maybe we'll get back into fantasy. So maybe in March when we'll get to the next one, but I highly recommend this fantasy series. If you need a new fantasy series that's like easy to follow and has enemies to lovers, crumbs of romance, definitely pick up the series. And it's an ongoing series. I don't know how many there's going to be. I know there's going to be 4, but the 4th one doesn't come out until 2026, I saw on Goodreads, and I'm like, girl, I need it sooner if I'm going to start the 3rd one. I can't wait a year. Anyway, then I read Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I wanted to read this before her new one comes out next week, I think. It comes out in March. But this one is a surprise pregnancy trope, which, is not everyone's favorite, but I've heard good things about this one, so I wanted to pick it up. But it's a surprise pregnancy, slow burn, friends to lovers romance. And okay, so the main character, Eve, gets pregnant from a one-night stand, okay? It's this guy that works at a bar that she hooked up with, okay? Fine, whatever. When her best friend finds out that she's pregnant from a one-night stand, of all things, it kind of like adds tension in the relationship, because Willow's been trying to get pregnant for a long time and is having trouble, so it's like, that kind of so you have that little thing going on, and then Willa's older brother kind of steps in and like is there for Eve. Is like, he's excited for her. He's shows up and like helps take care of her and all those things. Like when the baby daddy can't. And let me tell you, the baby's father, okay, the back it says he's technically supportive but majorly conflicted. So I can't really tell you, I guess, what happens with him. But it just irritated me because she's having this like little romance with Shep, who is her best friend's older brother, and he's there for her. But then the baby daddy wants to be a part of it, but is having a hard time grasping that concept. If I was Shep, I would be pissed off. I don't know. It's so hard because I can't tell you, like, if I say anything else, it'll be a spoiler. So I know they weren't dating. Okay. But now she has this romance forming while she's pregnant with another guy's baby. And Shep is just like there for her no matter what. And I love that. But I find Eve like kind of annoying. Like her personality. And honestly, I think Shep deserves better. He's really the reason that like I kept going. Like Shep is an amazing man. I love him. and Eve doesn't deserve him. That's all I gotta say. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Okay? I gave this one a 3.5. And then I actually did a reread of The Favorites. I listened to it on audio because I heard the audio was really good, and it is. It's just as good as reading it physically. Please, if you have not read The Favorites by Lane Fargo, I will say this again, I said it in my January wrap-up, drop whatever you're doing, go read it. Please. I don't think I will ever recover from reading that book. I could read it for the rest of my life. And every time I hear The Last Time by Taylor Swift in Gary Lightbody, it makes me want to cry. Okay, moving on. So, I did a reread of that. Then I read Rebel Witch, which is the second book in the Crimson Moth duology. This comes after Heartless Hunter, and I really can't tell you much about this one either because it's the second book, but it basically follows the events from the first book. But this series is about a witch and a witch hunter who are enemies, but have a lover situation going on. And they're still really enemies to lovers. Like, they're very conflicted, and, like, obviously, like, you get both of their point of views, and you can see how much each of them cares for each other, but they're also, like, conflicted and, like, torn between, like, but they're my enemy, you know? I just love that. I love that kind of enemies to lovers. Basically, it's like a cat and mouse chase. The first one is, and then this one has a little bit of it, and we just get more of their tension, and I love it. I love it. I gave this one a 4-star, I think. Yeah. The first one was a 5-star. This one was kind of slow, but not in, like, a bad way. I still really enjoyed it. So, okay. The next book I read literally tore me to shreds. Okay? I mean, I should have expected it, but I really didn't have, like, that much. I didn't really have any expectations or high expectations when I went into it, but I wanted to read Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna before winter was over because it's called Winter Garden. It honestly doesn't really matter when you read it. So this one is about I don't even know how to describe it. But basically these two sisters have always been very distant with each other and their mother, and they're very close with their dad, and their mother has always been distant with them, and they don't know why. Like, her mom won't talk about her past or anything, and the dad is like, you have to get to know your mother, like, please. So it's the year, like, it's like in the 2000s. The mom's like, fine, I'll tell you a little bit of this fairy tale, and little bit, like, she'll tell them, like, a little bit each night about this fairy tale, and they're like, okay. They don't think that it's, real life. The fairy tale basically takes place in Leningrad in Russia. It's basically like during World War II when the Germans take over, so there's that going on, and then under the rule of Stalin and stuff. And then you have the present day, and their mom is, like, doing weird things. Like, they think she has Alzheimer's, but she doesn't. And it's just, this book made me sob. Okay? Literally sobbing. I was literally sobbing. Okay? And I don't think, Kristen Hanna always makes me cry, but, like, I haven't sobbed like this to one of her books before. It was just so heartbreaking. And I wasn't expecting it. I was just, like, sitting there on the couch, tears streaming down my face, and my fiance is like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not. I had to take a break from reading after this. I was like, I just can't read anymore right now. Because it broke my heart. And I was like, and then after that, I was like, I need a light-hearted romance. I need to be happy again. Okay? So, I definitely recommend this one. Especially if you like historical fiction. Kristen Hanna has the best stuff. Then I read my book of the month pick, Blackwoods Blue Sky, by, I don't even know how to say this name, but I didn't really care for this one. It is basically about like Alaskan wilderness and this single mother and her daughter trusting this man that the mom hasn't known for very long, and goes and lives with him in his cabin in the middle of Alaska. And strange things are happening. It's almost like a fairy tale, but I feel like most of this is about, like, I don't know if I just missed the point of this book, but I feel like if you like listening to descriptions of nature and just the Alaskan wilderness, you probably enjoy this, with a little bit of a dark fairy tale vibe. I just feel like it described too much nature for me. That's when I would just get lost. I'd be like, I really don't care the sound the leaves are making every time you go outside. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I gave it 3 stars. Then I read Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I've had this on my TBR for a while, and I just wanted to get to it in February. But this one's basically about a couple, Yasmin and Josiah, who have been. This book starts off with them already divorced. Like, they're years into their divorce. They're co-parenting. They both co-run this restaurant together. So they're kind of on good terms still, but you're just like basically spending this entire story finding out, like, you're years into this divorce and finding out like what caused them to get divorced, and then like them seeing other people, how it's affecting their children, and just diving into the reasons that led to a divorce and the lack of communication was very interesting, and I've never read a story like it. But I really liked it. I kind of want to. This is part of a series, I think, called the Skyland series, I think, and the third one's coming out soon. So I don't know. Maybe I want to read the second one. I don't know. It might be a while, but I really enjoyed it. 4 stars. And then the last book I read is Accidentally Amy. Just this quick little rom-com. I don't really have anything to say about this one. It's kind of like, it was just okay. A workplace romance. She finds out that they run into each other at a coffee shop, and they're both like infatuated, and then she realizes that he's her new boss. So that's basically it. 3 stars. Nothing special about that one. So yeah, those are all the books that I read in February. Now we can focus on March books. So I'm gonna put these on my shelves now, and then I need to find, like, I don't know what kind of spread I want to do for March. I'm like really bad at drawing and being creative. So I have some ideas saved on Pinterest, and we'll go through those and see if there's something that I might be capable of drawing. So we'll do that after I put these books up. Okay. Now that we've got all the books up, let's look on Pinterest for some March reading journal vibes. I'm just not good at drawing, and if it's too complicated, then I'll just get stressed and quit and make it look bad, and I don't want that. So let's look at the ones that I saved. I thought about, like, can you see that? Like butterflies. I thought that might be like, I thought that might be easy to draw. I don't really want to do like shamrocks. That's bad, but you know, that's like basic. Like that. I feel like that's easy. Pretty colors. Although actually, I might wait to do this because my Amazon package is coming today. I ordered more like coffee cups, like glass to go cups, so I could take them to work. Because I only have 2 that I switch back and forth between, but I also ordered some more Crayola super tips, so I'll have more colors to use. So let's wait for that to come in, and then yeah, and then we'll get into it. Okay, I just went out and got some more reading journal supplies, and I bought a bunch of paper. I love getting like these types of things from Michael's, and I just wanted more spring-ish colors, I guess. So I got these, and then I saw this. It's a book club little paper pad. Ooh, Amazon's here. And it's just, they have really cute designs in here, like Book Lovers Club. I'm like, these are perfect for the reading journal. Anyway, but one of them I've already torn out because they're like these little book club sheets with notes, and then like you put the title here, your rating, and then notes. And I thought I could do this for my book club, put it in each month. Although I know January and February are already done, but before I start, I could put January and February together on 2 separate pages with like an outline, and just cut these out. So I think I'm gonna do that. Although I do have, well, now that I'm thinking about it, I do have a book club spread already though, that just has them like that. But that's like in my like main like yearly spread, but these can go in my monthly ones, just for like that, so I can expand my thoughts, I guess, because this I'm just gonna put my ratings. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna use this green, I think, for my March spread. But actually, let me go get my Amazon package. Here we go. Let's open her up and see how, hopefully none of the glasses are broken. Like, I shouldn't be trusted with scissors. Okay. So here are the markers. Okay. You look like this. I think it's cute. And then they're kind of short straws. Are they? I don't know, maybe they're normal. I think they're cute. Okay. So we've got our markers, we've got our paper. So I think what I'll do is I'll put these 2, I'll cut out all of these into individual ones because I have 12, it's perfect. And then I'm gonna put January right here. So my February page is right there. Put my January book club, February book club one, and then go into the March spread. So this is what I did for the book club pages. So this will be January, this will be February, and then I'm just gonna pick different ones each time. Like different backgrounds for each month. But I'm gonna put them with the monthly spread, if that makes sense. Okay, that's really cute. So So I'll just have to go back in with those. And I might put like a little picture of the book in them. I'm not entirely sure. So now we can do the March spread. And I still don't know what I want to do. So I'll be back once I figure it out. It's a little while later and I finally figured out my March spread. So I have this little like squiggly design, I guess, with the, just to fill up space with some greens, because you know, March, St. Patrick's Day, it's green. And then I put like some green cardstock on this side with their new releases that I'm looking forward to in March. And then my wrap up is going to go on one of these pages. I don't know if it usually doesn't take up the whole thing. Normally it's just one page. And then I might put my book club one over here. Sometimes, like in January, I had like a lot of books that I wanted to do like a collage for, but I didn't have any in February that I felt like I wanted to print out. So, I mean, I might have one in March. So it just depends on like how the layout goes. Like if I have some book, like a favorite book that I need to make a collage for. So it'll just depend on that. But that's what I have so far. And then I did pick out, this is going to be my March one, and I'm just going to put it on like this, wait, I'm just going to put it on like this book print. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like I have done nothing today, even though I did this and all that. I just feel lazy and I haven't read it all today. And I really want to do that. I just don't know what I want to continue reading. So because I feel like I'm not really in the mood for a Frederick Bachman right now, like, because his stories are so sad. And I think I still need some light-hearted romances. I might start my funny story reread, because there's just nothing on and there's nothing on my TBR that's like calling my name right now either. Anyway, I'll update you guys once I pick what we're gonna read, and also I'm gonna put like my new glasses. Put my new glasses in the dishwasher. I'm super excited. Okay, it's the next day, and I have not read anything else. I have not made any progress in my friends or funny story. I've decided that I'm going to take a little break before going and finishing my friends, and then before I reread funny story, maybe I think I want to reread it maybe closer to like when her new one comes out in April, because I really want to film like some reading vlogs. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, I probably did, but I've just been on a big like ice skating or hockey sports romance kick, and I really want to read the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. Is that what these are? Yeah, Off-Campus series. And they're all Kindle Unlimited, I believe, and I just really want to dive into that. So I'm gonna make a separate reading vlog of reading this entire series, so stay tuned for that. But I did finish my reading journal. I don't remember the last thing I updated was. I think I had shown you like my March setup, and then like my book club spread, but I filled out those, like I wrote my thoughts for January and February, and then I went ahead and made the March one. So our March book club pick is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. So I just have this sitting in here because I don't know like the layout, like I don't know how it's gonna go in here. So I just have that ready. And then Tuesday, Wild Side by Elsie Silver comes out. So does Promise Me Sunshine and While We're Young by K.L. Walther. So it's a busy week for the book world on Tuesday. That's what I wanted to do. I kind of turned this into like this video has been like all over the place. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my heater. and on in the background. It was really cold in the apartment earlier. I think I'm going to end this video here, and so I can start my off-campus video. And yeah, sorry it was kind of all over the place, but I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things, and hopefully I can be more consistent, because that was one of my goals for this year, was to be more consistent with my videos, and we've been failing, so we're gonna do it, okay? So thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!